over your environment. Whether there's greatness, you never know. But sometimes we can't control the environment. Nature teaches us that when there's an environment, you need to make an adjustment, don't you? If it's freezing outside and you go outside with the wrong clothes on, you're going to have a casualty, aren't you? You're going to be a casualty in that environment. If it's 106 degrees out there and you go out with the wrong attire, you're going to be a casualty to that environment. Know that you have to make an adjustment. There's a time when you have to make an adjustment, and there's a time when you have to monitor your environment. There's a time when you have to separate from the environment. Right? I come from probably the worst environment in the world, whether it is saturated with drugs, violence, alcoholism. You may not be in a healthy, nurturing environment, but you have to monitor it, you have to adjust, and you have to know when to separate. The worst time to be in Los Angeles, in my personal opinion, was during the height of the crack epidemic in Los Angeles. And I happened to be going to high school at that time. So this environment was saturated with a lot of ill spirit. If you're in the wrong neighborhood with the wrong color on, what's going to happen? You're going to be a casualty in that environment. So guess where I am? Had a new job, worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken during 1984 where everybody had a job because it was during the Olympics. So I had Kentucky Fried Chicken, got my first paycheck had $71.55 in my pocket. I was feeling good. I was coming home. I got me a bright red 76ers jacket. And I'm walking home feeling good. But I'm walking in the wrong environment without monitoring it. And guess what happened? I ran into a few neighbors, and guess what happened? Casualty. Gun in the belly. Took my money. Took my jacket. They even took my chicken, which was there. Something to eat. Bad situation. But whose fault was that? Mine, because I didn't do what? I didn't monitor my environment. I didn't make an adjustment. I didn't know when to separate. It's very critical. You may be anywhere. You have to know when those things are taking place. Right? You have to know when it's time to get out. You can't control that environment. Another example of that, being in the same environment. Sometimes you just got to know it's time for me to leave. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm in this environment. I wake up, someone had broke into my house, 3 o'clock in the morning. Woke up and found out it was a crackhead that broke in my house. It was in my kitchen, cooking an omelet. It's time to get the heck out of LA. I don't know. It's time to get out of it. Sometimes it's time to go. Let me leave you with this. Your environment that's saturated with 3 things. Sometimes you can have an environment that's hot, boiling hot, with violence, drug addiction, discouragement, like the example we just saw. But let's equate that environment to a boiling hot water. Hot boiling water. You put 3 things in that boiling hot water, it's going to have 3 different effects. Put one thing in that boiling hot water, an egg, in 3 to 5 minutes, what's going to happen to that egg? It's going to be hard inside, yes ma'am. It's going to start to crack. You put another substance in that boiling hot water. You put a piece of vegetable, asparagus, what's going to happen in 3 to 5 minutes? It's going to get soft. It's going to get weak. One more substance you put in that boiling hot water. You put a coffee bean in that boiling hot water. It's not going to crack. It's not going to get hard inside. It's not going to get soft. It's not going to change at all. But what it's going to do, it's going to change the water. It's going to make it smell better. It's going to make it taste better. It's going to change the aroma. It's going to change the whole color of that water. That's us. You could be in the worst school in the world. You'd be like that coffee bean. You don't get soft. You don't get weak. You don't get hard-boiled. You change the environment, make it better because you're there. You make the difference.